Aquarius, welcome to this reading. A look at your year ahead, 2026. And we're going to do a real deep dive here, looking at each month, what the theme is, what challenges, what opportunities are coming up. And I get physically moved, guided, given messages, which I'll pass on. And so, yeah, we're really going to go in deep. And so I'll leave a bit of a summary sheet as well in the link below. This is a collective reading, but there'll be something here for you, for your greatest good and for your highest timeline. Please, Aquarius, if you get anything from this reading, don't forget to like and to subscribe. All of the likes, all of the comments, all of the views are so appreciated, so thank you. And straight away, I've got a card flying out here, the 8 of Cups. And so here, we are moving out of a 9-year and into a 1-year. And it's also the year of the snake and the serpent. So it's a year of shedding and releasing. And we're now moving into those new beginnings in the year of the fire horse. And this card really shows that. It shows that over the last year you've been releasing. You might be going through some transitions, maybe changing job. This could also be you moving away from relationships that aren't serving you, and things that are affecting your emotions and pulling you down, pulling you away from your highest timeline. So this is you moving forward to your highest timeline, having released those things that aren't serving you, having gone through that shedding. And so this feels like this year moving forward is going to be you stepping into that new that a lot of people are going through collectively. And another card jumping out is the 7 of Wands. And so this is either a time where over the last year you've had to put your boundaries in place, or this is a theme that will be running into this year and we'll have a look for more information. But this is you needing to stand strong and to protect your energy, really protect your energy and how far you've come. This is you either defending your beliefs or defending what you're moving forward to, and Temperance flying out as well. So this is you alchemizing the pain of the past and the difficulties from the past, everything that you've been through, and moving forward towards that joy and doing it with patience. This is also you working with the unseen realms, and so maybe tapping into spiritual guidance, maybe going on shamanic journeys. But this is you really getting some guidance moving forward from your ancestors, your guides, your angels. And so I'm being given 3 cards, and this is like a weight on your shoulder or something holding you back. And so here we have the Sun, the 6 of Swords, and the Page of Swords. And so this is where in the past your light's been dimmed. Maybe you've been stuck in a rut and you haven't been able to see the joy potentially, or it could be someone who's been dimming your light and you haven't been able to express yourself fully. But this is you also moving forward, and moving forward with clarity. This is you being able to release that past and move forward to your joy, to experience your real joy. This is moving away from any self-doubt as well. And so if you've fallen into a space where you've been doubting yourself and that's been holding you back, that's been preventing you from moving forward on your path, then this is going to be a time of release and moving to that, moving on to your highest timeline, releasing that emotional baggage. And I'm being given one card. This is in your present energy. So, and this is within reach I'm being given and close to your heart. And here is the Three of Pentacles. And so here with the Three of Pentacles, this is you working either in community, maybe starting a community, starting a project with other people and really building something from the ground up, making soul-aligned connections to help start building that future that you've been dreaming of, envisioning. And so this really is within reach, and I don't think it's going to be far in the year until you start seeing that taking shape. You might have already experienced some of it last year. You might have chance meetings or started putting together the framework of a community, or a community reaching some sort of next level, or maybe joining a community where you're meeting like-minded people that are going to aid you on your soul's journey, on your soul's path. And I'm being given a message from Spirit about trusting. And look at that, it's judgment. And so this is you in that rebirth. This is the new you rising up, awakening. And this is really going to be a year for that, moving forward. And you're being given again a message about your angels, your spirit guides, coming through loud and clear. And there's a big message is to trust that any difficulties, all of the past has been there to help you on your growth, on your soul's journey. There were necessary lessons that you needed to go through, that your soul signed up for before you incarnated. But this is a completing of a chapter. This is you having experienced those lessons and now growing from it, rising up and moving on to what you're meant to. This is you moving into your purpose. Okay. Yeah, so I'm putting cards out for each month. It won't be in order. It'll be wherever I'm guided to put them. And then we'll go through each month what the themes are, what the opportunities are. Okay, so having a look at January, the card for January, and nice. So the first card, the first month, here we have the Magician. And so this is a message about you stepping into your power. It's the oneness, the start, well, other than the Fool, it's the start of the deck with that one. And we're in the first month, we're in a 1 year. And so this really is new beginnings. And this is you knowing that you have all of the tools at your disposal. You have everything that you need to manifest the future that you envision. This is a great time to set intentions, to dream big, to really feel those intentions as if they've already happened, as if they're in the present. And speak about them as if they're in the present too. This will be you informing the universe and co-creating with the universe. I'm being given listening and listening to your sacral. And so this is listening to something that you're creating. Maybe, and I'm being shown the past, and so I'm getting a card that It's a tool for you to move forward with. Maybe there's, okay, and we have the Emperor. And so here, this is you moving into, again, your power, your authority. This is you stepping into the sovereign you and taking charge of your own destiny. These are two really big cards to start the year with. And it really feels like this is your time. This is you moving forward and moving out of any fear from the past that might have held you back. With these two cards together, what I'm getting is that this is you putting some structures, some plans into place. And with the Magician, you're traveling into the future. And when I say traveling into the future, I don't mean in a time machine or anything. I mean envisioning the future, envisioning your intentions coming true, maybe through shamanic journeys, but really seeing what the future looks like, feeling it in the now, putting the plans and the structure in place, and knowing that you're walking towards that. And then by doing that, you're informing the now and co-creating with the universe. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So that was January, and so a big month starting the year. This is things really starting to take shape. Moving on to February, and so February we have Justice. And so this is the slate being wiped clean and restoring any balance, any harmony. And this is you really sitting in your truth and stepping into your truth and leading with that. Leading with your heart, leading with your truth, and coming through with communication as well. And I'm getting justice from the past. I'm being given a card here. This is what you can see on the horizon. And it's the Ten of Pentacles. So with the Ten of Pentacles, this is you moving away from the past and really seeing the future starting to take shape. You've been putting the structure in, you're leading with your truth, you know that you've got all of the tools at your disposal, and you're really seeing it starting to take shape. This is the future that you're building. Really powerful cards coming through for the first 2 months. And I'm getting something about holding in your heart. And so this is really about keeping those intentions in your heart, knowing what you're working towards, knowing what you're moving towards and what your intentions are. Being shown your sacral, and just there's something held there. And now that could be fears, it could be creative blocks. I'm being given a card here. And so this is a challenge, and it feels like it's about some creative blocks. We've got the Two of Wands. And so here with fear, with creative blocks, the challenge here is not looking ahead, not dreaming big. And here you're really being asked to, if there were no doubts, if there was no beliefs that I can't do that, what would you dream of? And that's what you're being asked here to do with this challenge. It's to really let go of any limitations and to say, if I could picture everything perfect, what would it look like? And start moving towards that. And I'm being given something about a solar plexus as well. So this is you having the confidence to move forward too. And knowing that once you do, any creativity will start pouring out, that you'll also start seeing those signs, synchronicities falling together. Just step forward and trust and dream big. And I'm being given a message as well, again, about this card, about the Two of Wands, that this is about listening to talk and listening to communication. So this is about a time to really pay attention to how you talk. And that's not necessarily to other people, although it can be. It could be you're communicating to other people, things never work out and stuff like that. So just be aware of that. But especially any internal talk, any internal beliefs that need some awareness, that need a light shone on them. Because maybe there's an inner voice saying, that's not going to work, I can't do that. And all of those limiting self-talk, they need to be, it's a time for you to be aware of with this card. Thank you. And so moving on to March now, the card for March is the Fool. An amazing card for March. We've been looking at the slate being wiped clean with justice, and now you're moving into that zero, the real new chapter, the new start. This is you having looked at what the future looks like. You can see it starting to take shape, and you're releasing any limitations. And this is you truly trusting, surrendering, and taking that leap of faith, and knowing that you're going to be held and that things will work out. I'm being shown the dog here as well. So a message from Spirit to know on this month, when you're taking these big steps, this leap of faith, you're not alone. You've got your spirit guides with you along the way. I'm being given 4 cards, so quite a lot of cards, and being given the message trust. And so here we have the 6 of Cups, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. And so, wow, there's a lot here. I was given a message just as I was turning these over, listening to your heart. And here, this is showing a story. This is soul level healing. This is healing the past. And it doesn't have to just be the immediate past, what you've been releasing over the past year. It can be further back and even further than your current lifetime. This can be healing, soul level healing, and healing things from past lives, karmic cycles. This also shows that you've really been through it. You've been through so much and you survived. You've grown through it. Now, as hard as it has been, we touched on it earlier, you've been through it, and as hard as it's been, you're there and standing strong. And so it's time to recognize that. And then some beautiful cards here, both of these, showing you really stepping into your power and being able to create. This is you trusting the path forward and finding that confidence again and really birthing your ideas. Maybe these are things that you've wanted to create for so long. We looked at the sun earlier and the sun being blocked out, your light being dimmed. This is you moving forward so that you can shine your authentic light brightly, bright and proud. Amazing. Okay, so moving on to April, and the card here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And so this is now movement, moving forward to your abundance, that legacy, that all of the things that you're building that we saw earlier in the year. This is you moving forward with patience and dedication as well. This is you step by step putting everything in place. And just doing so with consistency and trusting that you're paving the way of the future. This is you moving forward with your values, with your belief, and knowing that you're building that future. Just one card for that month, so that's all you need to know. This is you moving towards your abundance. And here in May, we have the Page of Swords. And so the Page of Swords, this is you in a place of clarity, and it can also be approaching things with new curiosity. And so maybe there's something that you're working on that you're being asked to get a bit of a fresh perspective on. This is also a message about challenging any old beliefs. Now, maybe these are old patterns starting to creep in again, but you're being asked to recognize those and just to review them. And this is also about asking questions. And so, yeah, ask any questions that you need to in this month. This is going to be a month of asking questions and exploring. And I've got something from the past, and so you might receive a message from someone in the past, and this is you moving forward with your heart is what I'm getting. Releasing any old patterns of the past, and here getting another card. This is what you can see all around you. And so here we have the Eight of Swords. And so here, this is you having some of those old beliefs that I touched on starting to creep in. Those old doubts, those old restrictions that we looked at earlier in the year. This is where you start to look around and you're starting to doubt yourself, and you're starting to think, can I really do it? And these are self-imposed limits that you're putting on yourself. And so the Page of Swords really asking you to ask the right questions and to tap into that knowing, that clarity, and recognizing the unhelpful thoughts. Using the Page of Swords to cut free those chains, to remove the blindfold, and to move forward, knowing your truth and what you're moving towards. Here in June, the card for June, we have the High Priestess. And so this is you moving into that knowing. This is you progressing and working with the seen and the unseen. This is going to be some sort of spiritual up-leveling. We've seen a couple of times, or in fact a few times, your guides coming through loud and clear. And so this could be you channeling, receiving some deep messages. This is you coming into spiritual gifts. I'm really getting that you've been going through so much growth and you're creating stuff. This is you moving forward on this and up leveling to a new level. And specifically, I'm being given speaking with the divine. And so this is communicating with your spirit guides. This is going to be a big month for that. I'm getting another card, another 3 cards. This is close to your heart and relating to this. Okay, so yeah, here we have the Ace of Cups, the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles. And so here, this is you moving forward with that intuition and communicating with your guides, moving forward on that project and making those connections. These are soul aligned connections that we saw at the start that are really, it's all starting to take shape. And this is you releasing that past, really letting go. It's okay to acknowledge any grief that might still be coming up from the past, things that didn't work out, but see that there's 2 cups still standing and that everything's really taking shape. This is going to be a big month for your relationships, not just with people in your life and shared experiences. This is also you communicating with your spirit guides as well. Okay, and July, being guided to July. The card for July, we have the 4 of Pentacles. And so this is going to be a month where there might be a fear of losing what you've gained, a fear of everything that you've built, how far you've come. You've seen the progress and you've been through it. And this can be some natural fears around, is this going to last forever? How long will this last? And it can start turning into moving from the trust that we've seen in the past month to, I need to hold on, I need to control, I need to try and force things. And that's you staying in a comfort zone, a security comfort zone. You're really being asked to release, to trust, to go back to that full energy that we had before, of really surrendering and trusting that everything's working out. And I'm being given a message about communicating forward, and this is a message for the path forward. And so here is the star. And so this really is you having that faith, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. This is what you're being asked to really tap into. Again, this is another card of communicating with unseen realms and tapping into your intuition. And so this is about you tapping into that guidance, communicating with it, and trusting your intuition, trusting your inner compass, and knowing that there's light at the end and you're moving towards your North Star, bringing this abundance that you've been working towards, bringing it all in. Okay, the card for August. So here in August, the return of the 7 of Wands. And so with the 7 of Wands, this is an important month to really focus on protecting your boundaries. If you've had boundaries issues in the past that came up right at the beginning of the reading, this card, if there's anything from the past where you've let your boundaries down, this is a good month to just reflect on, are your boundaries in place? Are you doing too much for other people? Are things in harmony? Are they in balance? This is you protecting your energy and doing those acts of service for you and making sure that you're looking after your own well-being. I'm getting an interesting message through. On one hand, it's about opening your heart, but on the other hand, it's about protecting your energy. And so it's really you tapping into your intuition and feeling and knowing that you don't have to self-sacrifice to open your heart is the message here. That you can open your heart and still honor yourself and still have those harmonious relationships that are in balance. This is looking at the past and the progress that you've made with your boundaries is what I'm getting. This is you really honoring yourself and your self-worth. And here I'm getting something big around your heart on this month. And so here, the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands. And so this is you moving forward with that fire within that we were talking about earlier. And this again is about as within, so without, but also your spiritual guidance, receiving messages. So this is you trusting that path forward, trusting the signs, synchronicities, trusting the messages that you're getting through, and moving forward with your joy, following your heart, moving forward. And I'm also getting solar plexus. So really, this is you finding that confidence and moving forward. It's great. Okay, so here, September, we're going to see what card for September. And the Seven of Pentacles. And so this is you seeing those seeds that you planted at the beginning of the year really growing. This is a good time to check in. We've had 2 sevens here, so 2 months in a row with sevens. And so a good point to stop, to reflect. Which seeds do I need to water? Which ones are weed? And stop watering the weeds. But this is a great message about really seeing that progress. From that new beginning, you're starting to see everything really taking shape. And this is a time to be proud of how far you've come and all the growth, all of the progress that's been made. That's the only card for September. And so moving on to October, here the card is the World. And so this is completion. This is where it all falls together. This is the closing of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. And this is you continuing that upwards spiral and up-leveling. You know, we had a bit of a potential test or challenge in the previous months to really look on, you know, how far you've come with your boundaries, keeping those boundaries in place, and then reflecting on what do I need to water, what do I need to release and let go of, and then stepping into that new beginning, that completion. Okay, what I'm getting, this is an interesting one. I'm really getting through strength and having moved out of restrictions. We saw it here like earlier in the 6 months before, but I'm really having you moved out of the restriction of the past and you're feeling that strength. This is a new you that you're moving forward with, and I can feel that confidence. This is you recognizing how much you've released, how much you've grown, and getting confirmation. And I'm being given the message that you're being asked to really trust that you'll get to this point. If there's times throughout the year where it feels like, like those old patterns of doubt, those feelings of restriction are creeping back in, listen and know that in October, this is a big shift in your life. This is an up-leveling for you, and you're being asked to trust and keep that faith moving throughout this year. And a message for your path forward, for what you're moving forward. Okay, and so again, this is the Tower. And so this is a shift of everything around you, removing anything that doesn't have solid foundations. And this is also, feels like a real release from still things from the past that you've realized that you've been carrying with you that don't need to come on this new chapter. You can't write a new book using the same pages as an old book. This is you recognizing what needs to be released and how far you've come. We talked about that release, and this is you really letting go of those unstable foundations and clearing out, starting new. Okay, and here for November, the card for November. Okay, here again, we've got the Four of Pentacles. It's interesting that the Four of Pentacles is showing just after the Tower moment. So there is potentially still some shift, during this transition, some clinging on, and it feels safer to hold on to what we know in these times of shifting and transformation. And that's why the message was coming through loud and clear to really trust moving forward. And so this is you just a reminder in November to release any control, to release any force, and to really surrender and trust. And I'm being shown 3 cards that are close to your heart, and this again, repeated cards. And so we have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Wands again, and the Seven of Pentacles again. And so this is real movement forward. This again is looking at the growth, looking at those seeds, the fruits of your labor. And this is you also recognizing your inner growth and how much you've been through, and that you're still standing. You're still standing, and you've got your boundaries in place. You know what you will and won't accept. And this is you following your truth and moving forward with it. Okay, there's a clear message coming through, but I don't fully understand it. It's about the past and rising up, and I'm being pointed to the Judgment card. So this really is you going through that rebirth energy. This is you really rising up, empowered. This is you going through some sort of awakening as well. And this is you completely renewed and moving forward with everything being released from the past, and to trust the path forward, having released the weights, everything that was holding you back, moving forward with your truth, moving forward with momentum, and moving forward with faith as well, following your heart. Okay, so last card, last month. We're in December, so yes, we have the Page of Cups. And so with the Page of Cups, this is you moving forward, following your heart, following your intuition. This is you moving forward into new beginnings, to experience new emotions, emotions that you deserve. I'm being guided to another card as well. And this is also in December. We saw it at the beginning and we're seeing it at the end. This is your rebirth. This is your awakening. This is you stepping into your power. This is you stepping into that new version of you. Ready for the next year ahead as well, stepping into 2027. There's already been a few up-levelings in this year, but this really is you finishing the year with a bang, rising up and going, this is me with my confidence, with my power, knowing my direction, knowing my full power within, being guided and tapped in to your intuition and letting that guide you forward, fully held by the universe. And I'm being given the message, trust and just follow your heart throughout this year. This is where you're being led to. This is your destiny. This is your purpose. Big changes happening. So that's all of the messages that want to come through for the tarot, but I'm being guided to get a card from the Shaman's Dream. Okay, so I'm being given, this is moving forward, following your heart and knowing that you're safe is the message coming through. And that this is a theme throughout this year. So if there's a card that, you know, you should come back to from this reading throughout this year to remember, it's this one. And here it's the Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. And it's 15, which breaks down to 6, getting back into harmony. And so this is for you to remember throughout this year. Embrace the chaos, trust in the process, and moving out of stagnation. The presence of the Dust Devil causes a ruckus. Some people are afraid of his chaotic nature, believing that he comes to intentionally stir things up. The truth is, you can't expect this dream ally to behave, to bring niceness, to be clean. His power is the mess he creates as he calls you to engage in the full cyclone of life. He represents 2 aspects to you now. The winds in your outer life appearing to throw you off course, where you assume the world is coming at or happening to you, and the winds that churn inside you, with the Dust Devil arising from your dreamscape to help you escape your invisible chains shackling you to a barren desert. Stop asking for things to be perfect. Awkward, messy, conflicted, exuberant, and wild is how you shift. Trust this process. A massive message that's coming through. Trust this process. The Dust Devil knows what you need when you need it. Once things settle, you will see the gleaming jewels awaiting your discovery. The wisdom awaiting integration. A great card to end on, and it really feels like that's the shift that you've been going through throughout this year. So many completions and up levels, and this is really you moving towards that new you and all of the gifts that that brings. Thank you so much for joining me on this reading. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Sending so much love, and I'll catch you on the next one.